Good afternoon. So today I'm going to share a topic about the reconstruction, the historical literature, building the new theories, and creating the new directions for the art education, taking the history of Hong Kong wind band as a case studies. And before I share my presentation, I would like to talk about this research. This research actually is started from 2016, and the research is continue my master thesis and my PhD thesis, and now this is my lifelong research project. And okay, to more understand about my research, this is the research objective. The research statement here is, when I read the literature about the wind band, I realized that wind band is always be considered as a lower art, and what we call compared to orchestra is, or we consider as lower, they are the higher, and it's made me to think of the question why. And secondly, when I really talked to the directors from Japan, from the scholar from Japan, from Korea, from the US, UK, they also have this observation, and then it's made me to find out that yes, this is the characteristic of the wind band in the life. So I also mentioned that wind bands are considered as a inferior art form in the Hong Kong society as well. And it's made me to think of two research questions here. So what are the underlying reasons for the variation of the wind band in Hong Kong? And secondly, what is the background and the histories of the wind band development in Hong Kong? And then I was really lucky because I used to work in a company that a senior citizen wind band. I used to work as a orchestra manager there. That's why, you know, the musician, when we stop paying, we just keep talking, right? And that's why I keep talking to my members, and I was asking them, so who is your teachers? And they said, most of them, they said they come with few names, and then I realized that, oh, those people must be their teacher since 1960s, 1970s. And then I asked another question. So who is your teacher? And they said, I have no ideas. Maybe my teacher is from Guangzhou, maybe from Macau. I have no ideas. And then it's made me to think of, yes, this is the question I want to ask. And then definitely we were the British colony. The British Army was one of the, when the British Army, they came, definitely they will bring the military band to Hong Kong. And this is the photos that can prove that the military band has been to Hong Kong since 1850. Yeah, since the beginning of Hong Kong. And you know, where is it? Tsim Sha Tsui, the place you just went to. Yeah, those areas used to be the military base, and the place, the tea house you went to in 100 years ago, the military band placed there. Yeah, performing theirs, and it's a proof to say that the military band or the British, they contribute a lot in the Western music development in Hong Kong. But also I realized that from what I heard from the interviewee, they said that, okay, my teacher is from Canton or from Macau. Then I realized that, yes, this is the picture that I have to look at. This is the picture from the Qin dynasty, the military band from Canton. Nowadays we call that Guangzhou. Yeah, and that military band is trained up by Japanese. Yeah, and that military band trained up the musician. Those musicians become the conductor in the local school in Guangzhou, and those students who study in the Guangzhou, after they graduate, they came to Hong Kong, and they became the teachers in Hong Kong, particularly in 1950s, and also some of them become the professional musician in Hong Kong, playing in the Hong Kong Philharmonic Orchestra. Okay, then let's talk about the research. How to find out my research questions here is, I use the qualitative research here. I only use the qualitative, and I come with 3 research methods: historical archive, interview, and the social medias. So historical archive here is, mostly I use the old newspapers, house program, poster, like here, the poster. You see, during the 1980, the people, they really write They really draw the poster here and recording, music score, the photos, and the government document here. Just took the photos here. I really want to mention to you because I think that is very, very important moment in Hong Kong. And you know where is it? This is Central. You just went there. Yeah, in 2 days ago, you just went there. And and that photos representing the fall of Hong Kong in 1941. This photo was taken in around 2 days or 3 days before, after Hong Kong fall down. Yeah, and that was the military band from Japan who played in the Central during that time. And I've because of I think this photo is very important. That's why I consult to the history professor from Hong Kong and also from a military historian in Japan. And I found out that photos actually was talking about transferring the wall of the presence from Hong Kong side to the Kowloon side. Yeah, that day was December 28, 1941. Yeah, and the military band was playing in Central, and that's why when we are doing about this kind of archive research, we are not only talking about not only focusing the performing arts, we are also focusing on the history of your countries or your regions. And also interview is very important. So my interview, I conduct the interview both in Hong Kong and overseas. In Hong Kong, last year I conduct an interview with a gentleman here, Mr. Mo Tat Yuen. He was the former member of the Kowloon motor bus, the bus you saw, in everywhere in Hong Kong. They used to have the band, and I conduct a interview with him. You imagine that he is 88 years old during that time. Yeah, and I also went to Singapore last year to conduct an interview with the foreign music inspector of the MOE in Singapore, and he shared a lot of story to me, and he was one of the person who organized or who execute the band project in Singapore in 1967. That was an announcement from the Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew. He was the one who executed. And you know, some things you cannot really find in Hong Kong, for example, like the photos, but you can find the photos from Singapore is related to Hong Kong. I was lucky, and he was very generous to share those photos to me. And then and the social media is also very important. I actually create a Facebook page. It's called the Hong Kong Wind Band Society. If you are interested in the Western music in Hong Kong, please follow my Facebook page. And this is a platform for the wind band practitioner where they can share the story and the information. I think this is a very important channel for the data collections. And then let's talk about my project. And my project actually is 2 years ago. I was luckily, my project was funded by the government, was a government-funded research. But I found that there was some challenging. Firstly, this is a very difficult to attend the fundings from the official art agents. Yeah, as they are primarily funding, they are not primarily funding those kind of research projects. I found that you know in the arts agents we have the program project grant or 1 year grant, 2 year grant, 3 year grants, but mostly they focus on the performing arts. They focus on the one-off events mostly. But if you are asking for the research project, it's quite hard. Yeah, I would say that. And even I'm one of a reviewer now, but I still find that very difficult to understand how they really give out the fundings in this time. And the most important thing is I have to apply for this funding for 3 times, but I got rejected. And in one time there was one research project, there was one research grant just come out at the music research grant. That's why I applied, and then I got it. But I didn't really change anything. This is most important part. And secondly, the reviewer, as the official agency, they are lack of the sufficient knowledge and understanding of those issues, particularly when we are talking about the archive, historical archive project, and also the wind band studies. They have no ideas. And what is the reason behind the challenge? I found that this is the cultural hegemony, but I'm not going to talk about these theories here. And if you want to know more about this, you can go through my PhD thesis. And then my research project, I think that my research project is aimed to improve the status and the recognition of the wind band field within the both government and the academic field. And that's why in the funded research project, I got 3 things to do. I have done these 3 things. I have created a Remaking Hong Kong Wind Band History concert and the forum on the wind band developments. And I have my monograph, The Forgotten History of the Wind Band in Hong Kong. Yeah. Okay, then concert as a research method in the arts education, I found that this is a practice-linked research method. When I really create this concept, I already have ideas in my mind. The repertoire that I choose, the venue that I choose, even the performance, the musician that I choose, I already have some ideas in my mind. And in this concept, I provide the historical background and explain the story to the audience. And I also share the photos that's linked to the research on the history of the Hong Kong wind bands. I'm very lucky. One of the audience, she came here today, yeah, to listen my speech here, and to examine the effectiveness of the promotion of the wind band in Hong Kong through the concert. I conduct 2 separate survey, and this survey is analysis of the audience and the musicians. These 2 surveys is including the audience and the musicians, and those feedback, they also mentioned that this concert can really help the development of the wind band history, at least to let more people to know that. What is it? And in this research, I also invite local composer So Ga Wei. He helped me to compose the second strip, the historical image for the wind bands. And because of the time's limit, I don't have the time to share this music to you. But what is the most important thing is when I approached to So Ga Wei, and basically I share the whole story, the whole idea about this concert to him, and he helped me to compose a music with 4 movement. And the music in the first movement and second movement is about the band history in Hong Kong. It's celebrating the band history in Hong Kong. And in the last movement, basically it's about how he think about Hong Kong by using the contemporary music styles to write it down in the last movement. But I found that it's very interesting. That concept or that committed piece is connected to the history and nowadays the developments. And then why I found this venue, this is the story. The story is about the first Hong Kong Youth Band Festival in 1978. 1978, that event was very important in the history in Hong Kong, I mean in the band history in Hong Kong. And because the government has invited the Nakamura Girls High School to Hong Kong to perform. And that school was the winner in the All Japan band competition in 1978. It was considered the best school band in Japan, and our government invited the bands to Hong Kong, and the venue that they performed was here. Yeah, the same venue. After 45 years, we went back to the same venue, and then we performed the concert, and also we performed the repertoire that they perform. And for example, why I said that this event is very important. I have conducted so many interviews, and the people who go through the 1970s, they mentioned one thing to me is about this event, and they said that you know, this event really changed our mind, and it's make us to feel impressed by the Japanese girl. That Japanese girls look very small, but they pay very good, very high standard. That's what they said. And they said that they performed the music. One of the repertoire is called from the Russian composer Shostakovich, the festive overture that they perform. And because in Hong Kong during that time we still pay the march, the social march, but they already paid the Shostakovich. It's very high standard piece. And then they said, wow, it's broadened our horizon, and then it's make Hong Kong to change, the band movement to change from what we call from the traditional band piece to the symphonic piece. Yeah, and this is what I want to show you. And I was lucky, I got the cassette tape, and then I got the live recording, and then I copy it and I upload to the YouTube, and then I want to pay for you. And they said that the most important thing is they said that when they listen the first chord, they already feel impressed by the trumpet session. That's why I want to show you. Do you feel impressed or not? Okay, let's have a listen about
Japan expressly to take part in this festival, which was sponsored jointly by the Music Administrator's Office and the Tom Lee Music Foundation. They began with the festive overture of Dmitri Shostakovich.
Okay, if you are interested, yeah, because we don't have time. Because if you are interested, you can just go through here. And what I want to share is, even they just hear they just listen the first chord, they still feel impression. They feel, wow, we cannot beat the Japanese. They are the best. Yeah, and this is why I found this venue to perform. Yeah. And also, wind band study as a arts education. As I mentioned that we in Hong Kong we don't really focusing on the wind band studies, and the government or if you want to change the government perspective of the wind bands, we have to have some scholar academics investment maybe. So I have also begin to integrate the history of the wind band into the academic forum, or even write down for the publications. So for example, today I come here is one of the purpose. Yeah, and I also get some give some guest lectures. And this is my population. You can see it's all my name, because there is no one who's doing those kind of wind band research in Hong Kong. That's why I would invite you, if you are interested, you can join us. Okay, and also we have the I also mentioned about the book launch and the ceremony. I think that is important, because I have a academic book. Yep, and I also in this book launch, this is supported by the government, and also I have a panel discussion with the music historian in Hong Kong. That's why I think that this is a recognition from both the government and the academic field regarding the research on the history of wind bands. This is contributing improving the variation of the wind band studies from both government and the academic perspective. And almost done. And I have also established the framework. This is how you can look at the wind band studies, or even the Western music studies in Hong Kong. And also, I have also mentioned about these theories, the trend of the wind music transmission in the Chinese-speaking areas before the World War II. I'm more focusing on the World War II studies, before the World War II the studies. And I realized that, and this theory can provide research directions to understand the relationship between the Lingnan area, including Hong Kong, and the surrounding country, with a particular focus on some areas like the nationalism, the music teachers, the musician, and the Cantonese music. So even I changed the wind music here, changed to literature, or changed to visual art. I think it's also, you can also use it for this theory, or a few more decades you can look at in these Chinese speaking areas. Yeah. one more slide. Yeah. Yep. And this is and after this research, I can see there is a some future research direction here. I can celebrating and in the next research, I'm going to do a research project with a Canton University, and also I'm very happy to say that I have discovered for these instruments, the instrument in around 70 or 80 years old, and we are going to repair those instruments, and then we will have a we're making historical concert in Guangzhou in the futures. Okay, I think I'm going to stop here. Okay, thank you very much.